Captain America: Brave New World is a decent movie, not amazing, but definitely not terrible. It lands somewhere in the middle of the MCU spectrum. However, given the franchise's legacy, it doesn't quite reach the heights we've come to expect. In this video, we'll dive deep into the movie's details, so be warned, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, you might want to skip ahead. But if you're interested in learning some cool behind-the-scenes info and what it might mean for the MCU's future, then stick around. This is going to be interesting. Let's start with the action. Credit where it's due. The action sequences were impressive. The biggest difference between Steve Rogers' Captain America and Sam Wilson's is, of course, flight. Seeing Captain America fighting in the air, dodging planes, and using Falcon-esque combat techniques is a fresh and exciting change. So, the action definitely offers a new feel because Sam's abilities are so different from Steve's. However, no matter how good these moments are, the Captain America mantle will always be strongly associated with Steve Rogers. This isn't about race, it's about the powerful legacy of Steve's story. It's a tough act to follow. That's why I don't think Sam Wilson will necessarily lead his own full Captain America trilogy. He'll likely remain Captain at least until Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. But after that, Marvel might introduce a new version of Steve Rogers, and Sam could return to the Falcon persona. Now let's talk about some of the other characters. Several really stood out. First, Joaquin Torres. He's one of the best parts of the movie. Joaquin is charismatic, and his action scenes were top-notch. He makes a great sidekick to Sam, and I think he has a bright future in the MCU. We might even see him in Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Next, we have Isaiah Bradley. We first met him in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and his performance here is just as powerful. Isaiah's backstory is heartbreaking, and his presence is commanding. His imprisonment after attacking President Ross is a truly impactful moment. I'm glad they didn't kill him off, which leaves the door open for future appearances, perhaps even in Avengers. Doomsday, a surprise standout for me, was the new Black Widow. I had my doubts initially, but her role was surprisingly strong. The movie confirms she's a former widow, meaning she trained alongside Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova. This establishes her as a highly skilled fighter, and she certainly proves it. She's a badass, but she doesn't feel like a Natasha clone. She has her own unique qualities, which works well. Speaking of standout performances, Thunderbolt Ross deserves mention. Harrison Ford brought his considerable talent to the role and delivered brilliantly. Ross's character arc was one of the most compelling aspects of the film. As president, his political storyline and personal conflict with his daughter, Betty, added real depth. His past actions weighed heavily on him, and we ultimately see his transformation into Red Hulk. Let's talk about Red Hulk. First, the CGI was pretty good. Not perfect, but a significant improvement over the She-Hulk situation. However, the biggest issue was Red Hulk's screen time. The trailers made it seem like he'd have a major role, but he's barely on screen for 3 or 4 minutes. This felt disappointing, given the hype. That said, the fight between Red Hulk and Captain America was fantastic, brutal, fast-paced, and a definite highlight. As for Sidewinder, played by Giancarlo Esposito, his role felt like it was added in reshoots just to introduce another threat. Marvel kind of wasted an actor of Esposito's caliber. He tries to make the most of his limited scenes, but the character isn't given much to do. A big question on everyone's mind is why Marvel recast General Ross. The answer is simple. They had no choice. William Hurt, who played Ross from The Incredible Hulk 2008 onwards, sadly passed away in 2022. Rather than retire the character, they recast with Harrison Ford, which makes sense given Ross's importance. The movie also incorporated Ross's heart problems, which were hinted at in Captain America: Civil War. It's revealed that he had serious heart issues, requiring major surgery. This health crisis is what drives him to seek help from Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader. A small but poignant detail was Karen Ross's grave. Karen was General Ross's wife and Betty's mother. The movie doesn't explain how she died, but in the comics, it was likely due to illness. Another interesting detail involves Mr. Blue. The Leader uses the song Mr. Blue to control minds, a clever nod to The Incredible Hulk 2008. Mr. Blue was Samuel Stearns' online username when he corresponded with Bruce Banner. Later, Shuri arrests Stearns and refers to his gamma experiments as Project Mr. Blue. In the comics, Mr. Blue also has a connection to Betty Ross. It was her codename when contacting Bruce. A curious moment involving Joaquin Torres occurs when he barely survives a missile blast. Many fans thought this was setting up a comic storyline where he's transformed into a half-human, half-Falcon hybrid using Red Wing's DNA. However, by the end of the movie, Joaquin is fully healed, suggesting Marvel abandoned this storyline. A missed opportunity, in my opinion. Finally, the post-credit scene. Sam meets the leader, who says, "Avengers are not unique, and neither is this world." This initially seemed to tease World War Hulk, but it's clearly a setup for the Multiverse Saga. Incursions are coming, and we'll soon see the Avengers facing their multiverse counterparts in films like Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. President Ross wanted Sam to assemble a new Avengers team, but with Ross imprisoned, that's off the table. Sam will likely form his own team, potentially including Doctor Strange, Thor, Professor Hulk, Shuri as Black Panther, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, White Vision, and maybe even Namor. However, this team might be short-lived, as the Multiverse Saga will likely culminate in a multiversal Avengers team in Secret Wars, composed of heroes from different realities. So what do you think? Did Captain America: Brave New World effectively set the stage for the upcoming Avengers films? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, please like and share this video. Sharing is caring. You can also check out my breakdown of the Fantastic Four teaser in this video link.